Good evening and welcome to the Tuesday show. My name's Ultra David.
And I'm James Chen, and holy crap, the camera is once again choppy as usual. But whatever, we'll deal with that.
Yeah, you know. Anyway, we got a bunch to talk about because it was a cool weekend. Cool week. There was a bunch of
lot
stuff.
of cool event kind of stuff.
Yes.
Like just general FGC news, not as much, I think, but definitely this weekend had a lot of really awesome action going on.
Sick weekend. So we're going to talk about the Tekken World Tour. And also, they announced some character from a video game. We're going to talk about the Injustice 2 ELEAGUE finals, and they announced, I can't even believe the characters that they announced. We're going to talk about Red Bull Battlegrounds coming up. We'll talk about KOF nonsense, talk about Hellboy and Injustice 2 patch, and maybe a Marvel League or two. So, anyway. Let's start it off with this Tekken World Tour finals. You went to it.
I actually got to go. That's right. It worked out very well for me. Like, I had this trip up north that served so many purposes. Like, everything about this trip was like, it was like the perfect time and everything to do it.
Okay.
But basically, I mean, just a long story short, my best friend from Virginia and my best friend in NorCal, the three of us all went to high school together.
Oh, that's cute.
He went out to NorCal for a job interview, basically, and so I was like, I'll come up and visit too. And he had to leave early Sunday morning, so basically me and my other friend who goes to EVO every year with me, we just went to Tekken World Tour and hung out there for the day. Yeah, so
that
it
sounds
was like
cool, man.
It all just kind of fell into place.
Well, I only watched after the selection of pools. So you had a different perspective on it. How was it in person?
It was interesting because I know I took a picture of it and someone was like, oh, this venue looks kind of ghetto or whatever. It looks like you're in a hallway. It was interesting. It was literally in the Metreon, which is the big old mall in San Francisco. And it was in a place called the City View. So it's just, it is sort of hall-like. It was long, and like the main stuff was over here. The VIP section was off to the side. They had a consoles on display for you to play stuff here, and like the geese was playable over here. But then out the back doors was this huge balcony that you could go and just a beautiful view of the city, which is why it's called the City View, right?
Oh, interesting.
It was a really, really pretty venue in the middle of in the heart of San Francisco. So it was actually kind of cool.
That sounds awesome. I've been to the Metreon many times.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and it's a nice building for sure. There's a lot of cool stuff in there.
Yeah, and Sajam live streamed there, courtesy of Z.
That's right.
Z was live streaming from there, and Sajam said, "Dude, can I do this?" And he took his stuff and live streamed. So
it's cool.
He actually got to show off a lot of venue over there as well.
Before we get to the results, did you get to try any geese?
I did not. I watched a lot. So that's the problem. Is like I'm always the kind of person that needs to sit down by myself with them, which is why like every time like when Ultra Betas came out, I never played any of those and stuff like that because I just like sitting down and labbing characters, and so I watched a lot of people using him and play him, and it's cool because he literally has a KOF meter. He has the max meter, and you can max cancel off of it and everything. And he's like the other characters. He's got actual jumps, you know. They just do such a nice job putting the characters in there, and he just looks so good.
He definitely looks awesome.
He looks so good graphically.
Sure. Yeah, no, he looks really, really cool. Well, okay. I mean, I heard some things from people on Twitter about how they thought he played.
Okay.
It sounded, I mean, I don't have any specifics, but it sounded like he played interestingly and they could find some similarities between him and other characters. Okay. But that, as you said, he had some major differences too.
Yeah. Like even, what was it, Rick Steezy was using geese, and I was watching him play against Peeling for a little bit.
Oh, that's cool.
And he was doing like this overhead, it was an air mid attack that you could cancel into air fireball. But that move is like safe on block and all.
Air fireball safe on block?
That looks safe on block too, and even that mid move was safe on block. But you could sidestep it and blow it up. So so there was ways to mess it up and everything.
Cool, man.
But yeah.
No, he looks really interesting. Well,
yeah.
All right. Anything else to say about the event?
A lot of people seem to have fun there, and surprisingly, it was way more packed than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
There was a lot of people there. In fact, the hallway where the main screen was pretty much like you couldn't walk through it But fortunately, there were 2 doors out to the balcony just around it, so you could go around that way. But that's how you had to get through it, just to give an indication that all the seats were taken up and all the standing room was being used up too.
Well, on the stream, they said that there were 1,000 people there.
Okay.
In person.
I believe it.
Yeah, that's wow, it's pretty. That's awesome.
Yeah,
super awesome.
And
what happened in the tournament?
Event was super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. I mean, it was interesting because it started with the pools, right? So they did the pool format, but they used the Japanese tech where they let the players decide where they want to go in pools.
Did you see that part of it? Because I came in after that on the stream.
I saw tiny bits of it, but unfortunately I was on the way there, so I was watching on my phone on the stream, driving to the venue.
Okay.
So I wasn't actually live when they were doing it, but basically JDCR put his name down first, and then a whole bunch of people just like were trying to avoid him. Saint put him in another pool, and Jimmy J Tran just walked right up and wrote his name right under Saint without even a thought, and everyone was like, oh my god, but then all of a sudden like Nobi jumps in there, and then it was like...
So this is what I wonder. They picked it?
Yes.
I mean, I knew that the players picked it, but I figured what had happened was that like unfortunate circumstances arose, and like the last 3 people to pick were like these ridiculous rest of the 4 in that pool, because that pool was crazy.
That pool
was nuts.
It's kind of silly.
Yeah,
but I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure at that point. So, and I actually think it's weird because, frankly, I think JDCR should go like 9th. Because then people would have filled it out, and then he'd be able to go, which one's the easiest one, and pick whichever one he wants to go into.
I can see that.
In a weird way, like I almost feel like the highest seed should go in the middle. Because if you go at the end, you don't have any choice anymore. Yeah. But if you go at the beginning, then you put it down, and then the people jump. And maybe it works out because all the good people leave you.
They avoid you.
Yeah, or something.
Except for Jimmy, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure Jimmy picked Saint's pool intentionally. He walked right up and wrote it down without any questions. So.
That's great.
And he qualified out too.
He sure did. He sure did.
Cool.
All right, you want to talk about results then?
Yeah. So, do you want to talk about like each of the pools first, or do you want to just talk about the top 8?
Well, I mean that pool 4D, I forget what it was called. That was the wildest.
Yeah.
Right.
And dude, the best thing about that pool. Let's see, do they even have they have the match log for the group stage. But here's the funny thing is, like, I was cheering for Jimmy J Tran the whole entire time, of course. I was like, go Jimmy! And some guy behind me was, like, cheering for Knee. He's like, come on, Knee! And I would, like, go Jimmy! And he'd be like, go Knee! Like, we were definitely
battles?
Yeah, we were kind of playing off of each other while that was happening. And then Jimmy won, right? Yeah. And I was, okay. So then he went up to go play against Nobi, right? Yeah. And Nobi, I think his team is like Team Yamasa or whatever like that. But the seat that I was sitting in, literally the 2 people next to me were like his Team Yamasa teammates and stuff. And, and so like every time Jimmy would win, I'd be like, yeah!
Shove it in their face.
Well done, Nobi. Well done. Well done. He put up a good fight.
My God!
But Jimmy ended up winning, and I was pretty excited about it.
So what was that? What was that pool? Just go to the group stage.
That pool was Pool D.
Yeah, but I mean,
and it was. Oh, they do have the results here. Cool,
yeah.
Sweet. So Pool 4 was Saint, Jimmy J Tran, Nobi, and Knee.
That was wild. And who went 0-2?
Someone went 0-3, didn't they? I think Knee went 0-3.
Knee went 0. I'm sorry, that's what I meant. He went winless. Yeah. Yes, Knee got busted.
Yes. He got an arrow to him.
To his him.
Yeah, exactly. He went. Can you believe it? He went 0-3.
No, it was a wild pool.
And wasn't Nobi, if I'm not mistaken. So this year broke the streak, right, of EVO and Tekken World Championship winners, right? Previous year, Saint won both EVO and Tekken World Championships. And the year before that, wasn't it Nobi who won both of them? Or it was a Japanese player, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if it was Nobi or not, but somebody in the chat can let me know. But yeah, Jimmy made it out of there. He beat Nobi and Knee.
Well, even in the pool stage, some matches were ridiculous. Like, a couple of Jimmy's matches were wild.
Yeah, it was Nobi, so some people are saying it was Nobi,
Down to the very last hit.
Yeah!
It was the last hit. It was crazy.
And Jimmy was up 2 rounds, the nun, so it was like, okay, he's got this, and then Yeah, then Nobi came back too, and I was like, oh my
Super
God.
close.
Yeah.
So, yeah, somehow Nii and Nobi did not qualify.
Yeah, so Group 3 was Tissumon and Noroma making it out of there.
Anakin did not make it out.
He did not make it out, neither did Kanan Trench.
Indeed.
So they, in fact, I believe, oh no, Speed Kicks made it out. Speed Kicks made it out. So Group 2 was Kudans and Speed Kicks, and Blackbeard and Super Akuma did not make it out. Super Akuma, of course, he was the one that went 0-3. And Kanan Trench also went 0-3 in his group. And then in Group 1, JDCR and Joey Fury made it out. And Fergus and Peeling did not, and Peeling went the ignominious 0-3 in that pool.
0-6 in games.
Yes.
Bam.
0-6 in games.
Bam.
Unfortunately.
So yeah, that was the pools. And I love that format. I like the idea of being able to see a player more than just twice if they go 0-2 because they get to go 0-3 at a minimum.
Yeah.
So I think that's really great. I like that.
I think that's cool. And then, of course, they all got put into a 8-man bracket. The second place finishers of the pools did start on loser's side. Yeah. So they started with the 4 winners on top and the 4 losers on the bottom. Unfortunately, Jimmy J. Tran did not win his first match, so he was...
Let's go to this top 8.
Sure. So 7th place was Speed Kicks with Hwarong and Jimmy J. Tran with Brian. 5th place was Circa Joey Fury with Jack 7 and Paul. And COOAS Noroma with Jack 7. There was a lot of Jack. People started booing Jack at some point in time at the venue. Yeah,
boo, my boy.
Because they were getting so sick of seeing so much Jack. There was 3 Jacks in top 8.
Yeah, you know.
4th place was CGG Tissumon with Master Raven representing Italy. 3rd place, Echo Fox JDCR with Dragunov and Heihachi, and he went 0-2 against Kudans.
Kudans busted him.
Yeah. I mean, to the point where JDCR was, like, laughing when he was playing Heihachi. When he switched Heihachi, he was, like, laughing, and he was just like, it looked like he was like, I don't know what to do.
Like, once he got to Heihachi, it was much closer.
Yeah.
Before that, man, it was blow up.
Yeah, it was crazy. And 2nd place was Echo Fox Saint with Jack 7, who blew up Kudans in winner's side, in winner's finals. He blew him up pretty badly there. And then all of a sudden, Kudans, who took first place with Devil Jin, came back and was able to figure something out because he won pretty handily. Except for that one game where Saint won 3 rounds in a row. It was like 3-0 where he just like busted him.
That's true. That was super fast.
Yeah, he busted him and it was like, oh, here comes the turnaround. Yeah. And then Kudans was like, nope. Power of the turtleneck, dude.
The turtleneck. Yeah. It was a blast. It was so fun to watch. All the matches were super good.
So good.
Saint's style with Jack, I'm fine. People don't like Jack. He's been but to me, that style is so interesting. It's so economical.
Yeah.
Like his movement is different than like everybody else up there. Even the other Jack players, they're moving around a lot more. And he's just like, I know where I am. I'm certain about my spacing. No unnecessary movement. I think that's awesome.
It plays the most un-Tekken-like.
Yes, it's super interesting. It's super interesting. So I like that a lot. I thought it was very cool to hear that Tissumon, who was originally Japanese, I guess, but now is living in Italy. He could have said that he was like Japan for the purposes of the flag, but he picked Italy.
Yes,
like he feels like he's been living there long enough that he feels like he's like EU. He's
like
Italy now rather than Japan.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. So.
And shout outs to Joey Fury for getting up there in 5th place. That is, I mean, there was some good American players up there. He got the highest.
Yeah, the competition there was pretty crazy, obviously, but like Kudans, it's so cool because I don't know the Tekken scene very well, right? Yeah. So I don't know the players as well as a lot of other people do. Sure. But when I did an EVO DVD trailer, like in 2004, I think it was the 4 trailer, Kudans is there.
Sure.
Like, he's one of my highlights in there. And it's like, it's cool because he's a veteran. And he came back and he did not play Tekken 6 or Tag.
Yeah.
Because he had hand problems or a health problem or something like that.
Yeah. What I read was that he's literally a veteran. First of all.
Right. Yeah,
he had to go to the military for a period of time, as you do in that country. And he also, though, what I read was that he played too much and he screwed up his hand in some way. So he had to relearn a new method of, either the stick hand or the button, I don't know which one, had to learn a new input method. And he did, I guess. And now he's back. That's right.
It hasn't hurt him.
I remember hearing the name way back in the day. I mean, I was only tangentially playing Tekken. I wasn't super serious about it, but I do remember the name for sure from back then. So that's awesome to see him back on top in the way that he is. And you could see it was a big emotional thing for him. You know, he was tearing up.
Dude, so... I mean, when he first beat JDCR, like, he just jumped off the stage and was running around with his arms raised. But the sad thing is, so my friend who was with me, he had to wake up early for work the next day. So basically, as soon as it won, we had to leave. I didn't see the award ceremony, but then some people were saying, yeah, he started getting very emotional.
Indeed he did.
I'm glad I wasn't there, because I totally would have started crying, too. I would have cried with him. So.
Cutie. It was awesome. And the way he played was extremely impressive. And you know, he's only 30.
Dude, the pictures
That's
from
crazy.
with Markman and him at the original Evo that he was at, like, he looks like a little boy, dude.
I mean, he must have been. He must have been in the mid-teens.
Yeah.
At the time, you know, it's when I heard that he had come back, I think of somebody who like played 15 years ago and then came back as being like somebody who's old. Like, for sure, you're mid-30s minimum.
Right? Yeah.
No, he's 30, or he was born in '87. I don't even know if he's 30 or 29 still.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Possible, probably not, but you know, in any case, very impressive.
But I mean, obviously, like, JDCR was the favorite, right? A lot of people were joking, like, "Oh, this is his tournament to win," etc., etc. But like, I think we've talked about this in the Smash scene, and we've talked about this in all sorts of things, in lots of different contexts. But Kudon's coming back and winning this great story, and it just shows that the competition out there is still very fierce and competitive, and JDCR is not dominant. Because if JDCR had beaten Kudon's in the losers bracket, I feel like he just would have just wiped Saint out, which he always does. Like, he does all the time for some reason. Like, whenever they play each other, JDCR just kind of blows him away. So even though I was sad to see JDCR lose, right, because I like JDCR a lot, but like, for me, I thought that added a lot more of the kind of excitement there, although I was worried that Kudon's was just going to get blown up by Saint again. But it didn't happen.
No,
so
surely did not.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Well, it was a blast to watch. Great job on commentary. Everybody involved.
Yeah,
they did very, very well. Could you hear them in the audience?
Yes, they blasted it out there. And you know, it's interesting because as someone who I'm not super well versed in Tekken, right? Yeah. But my best friend was there too, and he knows even less about Tekken. Right. Like, I can see why it's just so appealing to have commentary blasted out there. And you know, to my credit, my best friend even told me that he was able to enjoy the matches a lot more because I kept explaining to him things about the game, like how it's supposed to be played, and why things are. We'll take an expert over here. This is why, like, I want to help. I think I can help teach this game. I really, honestly do, from that beginner level. Yeah, I can get you past the door. From there, you go talk to everybody else. But I really want to see what I can do to help with that, because, you know, I saw a lot of people tweeting afterwards, and some people in the chat earlier today, before you got here, were like, "I bought Tekken because of Tekken World Tour." Like, a whole bunch of people were saying that, and it's just like. And then you had mentioned Z, and I saw Z tweet about this, but he was like, "Man, now that I've gotten to know the Injustice scene and getting involved with them and seeing what it takes for the game and everything like that, it's just, it's so important to play all these different games. Not even play them, just watch them and understand, learn them." The way that I said it in my tweet was _appreciate. You know, I didn't even say play. I said learn and appreciate. And those are like the watch, learn, and appreciate. You don't even have to play them. Just as long as you watch them and understand. Because I know a lot of people, when they watch Injustice, it's like, oh, it's all zoning or whatever. Oh, the zoning's so boring. But if you play the game and you understand, like, try it. Try the zoning yourself. It's not that straightforward. So when you see someone do such a great job with zoning, that's skill. That's talent right there. And so it's like so important to play and understand all the different games, because then it just makes it that much easier to watch and more appreciative to watch.
I highly agree. And that is very cool to hear that people are picking up the game. It's obviously very well deserved.
And it's going to be more too.
Yes, that's right. I was just going to get to this. There was a huge announcement during the Tekken World Tournament Finals. Unbelievable news. They are reducing input lag.
maybe they're looking into it. They're
working on it.
Yes, working on it. But I mean,
they claim to have already reduced input lag, but then I saw
people testing it.
Yes, people tested it, and in fact, they found that it had not changed. So whatever. But
yeah, I mean,
that's one of the big items of news.
Right, but I mean, again, to the point that I said the first time when it came out, they were like, we have to retest the whole thing.
Right.
It's a lot of work. If it happens, it's going to happen halfway through the year or something like that. It's going to be a crap ton of work in order to get that game with that new engine in there. But it's cool that they're thinking about it, and they talked about it. They actually addressed it, and I think that's super cool.
I agree. Yeah, it shows that their focus is on competitive stuff.
And Harada has always been very forthcoming with the input lag stuff on his Twitter. He's always been like, yes, we're trying our best to reduce it, etc., etc. Good communication.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But they kept something secret.
Yeah, shout-outs to Harada's, the way they set it up, though. Because it was funny, because they were like, Michael, he started to walk off, and Michael Moore's like, wait, didn't you forget anything? Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody, whatever.
Yes,
He's like, no, there was something else. And he was like, oh, that's right. Merry Christmas. And then walked off. But that worked, because it's Merry Christmas. Here's your present, dude.
Yeah,
and
that was great.
They showed their final guest character, and it is Noctis.
Noctis.
From Final Fantasy 15.
Noctis, Lucis, Callium or something? The whole name was in the trailer.
Vithos, Lusek, Vicos.
Hopefully that's how you pronounce it correctly. This modern Latin with its soft C's. It's ridiculous.
I've never played Final Fantasy 15.
Same.
So I couldn't quite have the emotional investment into it, but I understand why everyone's so excited and hype about it.
I'm not sure everyone's
although there is definitely a bunch of people who are not happy about it. What are your thoughts?
It's pronounced Calum? What is
Calum?
Oh, man. When Japanese takes over Latin. Anyway, I think it's fine. If that helps bring in people who would not have otherwise played Tekken, then it's genius. And I think that's basically what all of the guest characters are doing, right? Akuma, trying to get Street Fighter players. Geese, trying to get KOF players. When they announced Soul, bad guy, trying to get Guilty Gear players. And when Noctis was announced, Final Fantasy players.
What do you mean announced Soul bad guy?
What about that?
Wait, what?
What?
I know he was rumored to be in Tekken 7.
I don't have any info, James.
I heard he was rumored to be in Tekken 7 because there was files that people data mined and the word burst and air dash were in there.
Really?
And they were taken out. And then they were put back in.
That's fine. I literally just made it up right now.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, I think that's what they're trying to go for. And certainly that is a giant audience to go to Final Fantasy. That's huge.
Now, here's my question to you. Do you think it would have been less exciting or more exciting given the age between the characters? But what if they had put Tifa in there instead of Noctis?
Nobody knows who Tifa is.
Really?
Well, not nobody, but old people know. Maybe not.
Because Tifa's a brawler at least, right? See, I would have liked Sabin to be put in there, but
that would have been sick.
But he's too old school.
It's much too old.
It's not gonna happen. So.
Yeah. No, I feel like it's really smart because they get it's current. It's a partnership with a big franchise, right? That can help drive sales, and they get hopefully new players, and hopefully some of them become competitive players.
The whole time, as soon as they announced Noctis, and I was like, now the Cup of Noodles sponsorship makes sense because Tekken 7 is all sponsored by Cup Noodles, right?
Is Final Fantasy also?
Final Fantasy 15 has missions that are like Cup Noodle commercials, basically.
What?
We need to go get this Cup Noodles, literally.
Really? Literally the brand Cup Noodles.
Cup Noodles has a huge sponsorship of Final Fantasy 15.
Oh my god.
Honestly, it is there. I haven't played it, but I know about this. But there's missions where you actually go after Cup Noodles or something like that, and it plays a role in the game afterwards or something like that.
There's Cup Noodle headgear? What is this? This makes me a little mad, to be honest.
They actually Kapu is the emote. There's a global emote that's Kappu, Kapu. Couple.
Oh, well, there you go. That's modern capitalism, folks.
Yeah, and it works. And dude, the sad thing was the venue had cup of noodles everywhere.
I saw that on
They buried them
stream.
everywhere, and they were supposed to be. You were supposed to just be able to pick them up and pour hot water and eat them. They wouldn't have. That was why they were there. But the person providing the hot water couldn't get it there, and then in order to provide hot water to the venue it's a huge insurance risk.
Interesting.
So they couldn't do it. So everyone just put them in their bags and took them home.
Sure, that makes sense. Well, that's funny that they did that. I mean, certainly from a stream viewer perspective, I thought that the cup noodles thing was funny enough that it wasn't like, I can't believe they're doing this again. It was alright. Anyway, Noctis, when they showed his boots at the start, as a stream viewer, I could hear the crowd, and there's nobody, and then they're starting to get up his boots to his ankle, and at his ankle, I start to hear some woo. I can't hear it. I don't know what they're saying, but I start to hear hype, and it gets hyper and hyper and hyper until at his midsection, everybody was like, whoa! And I had obviously no idea. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Oh man,
a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's someone actually yelled, "It's Noctis." But I mean, so my best friend has played Final Fantasy 15, so the whole time he's like, "Yeah, that's a move that he has and everything."
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of the stuff that was in there, and I like the teaser at first too. They're trying to make you guess which of the characters is going to be in there because he's like, "I'll do it." No, I'll do it. Yeah. You know what? I'm just going to do it myself. And then they show him fishing with Lars at the end. Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was a nice, hilariously well done trailer.
Sure.
I thought, but the character. Obviously, Yoshimitsu has a sword, so whatever. It's but I mean, he looks crazy though.
Yeah,
he's
teleporting into swords and stuff.
Yeah, because that's apparently one of his moves. You throw the sword, you teleport to the sword and stuff like that. I don't know, because when I first heard the rumor that maybe Soul Bad Guy was going to be the character, I was like, "There's no way they can put him in the game." Then it was Noctis. I was like, "Okay, I guess that little makes more sense." And then he's teleporting, and I'm like, "Well, never mind."
And then I leaked that Soul Bad Guy's coming out 5 minutes ago.
Dude. I guess so.
Anyway, yeah, his moves look very interesting. So we'll see how he plays, etc., etc.
But yeah, no, the event was super cool, and again, the finals were super hype, and I'm glad a lot of people watched it, and I'm glad a lot of people were influenced enough by it to you know what, I need to buy some Tekken 7
for sure
because the game is great, and even with the whole cup noodles thing, I know I've had conversations with the Hado, on Twitter before. It's a great example of why you don't have to be a tech company to sponsor any of these things,
sure.
Right? So cup noodles is you know what, it's a bunch of gamers.
Yeah.
They would really appreciate some cup noodles, this is perfect for them.
I'm a Maruchan guy myself, but it's
okay.
all right.
Don't say that. Come on, dude. Cup noodles sponsoring Ultra Chen, right? Dude, let's do it. Because they also sponsored that Dissidia thing that went on at Southern California Regional.
I guess that makes sense if they have the thing going on with Final Fantasy. That makes total sense.
So
then
there you
go. I thought that was very curious at the time, but now your Final Fantasy
actually,
in missions in having cup noodles in missions makes much more sense. Okay.
So now they need to come out with an ad campaign that's God bless the noodles,
I can't.
Air Guys status.
Yeah. By the way, that was the first time, that event, that I realized that it's cup noodles.
Yeah.
And not cup of noodles.
I don't feel like it's always been that way.
I have no idea either way, but I can tell you what I've always thought it was cup of noodles.
I always thought it was cup o noodles, cup of noodles,
Yeah, I guess that's what I thought too.
Yeah. It's interesting.
I guess we're wrong.
Yeah.
Alright, anyway, enough about the old Tekkens. It's a fun game.
Noodles now. Yeah, it used to be cup of noodles. See, they did change it.
Well, why would they change it?
I don't know.
I don't like cup noodles. It makes my mouth angry.
Yeah, it doesn't roll off the tongue as well.
No, you got to go right from a p to a n.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
But the craziest thing is some of the ads they showed, there was actually curry cup noodle thing, but with rice instead. I don't know. There's some good looking things there. So, in any case.
All right, enough about this.
Noodles. Okay, so anything else that you wanted to say about this event?
Tekken's a pretty cool game.
Yeah.
All right.
DBFZ
happened at the thing.
Okay, well, I mean, one more thing I will say about Tekken is, like, I mean, despite any rage and complaints, like, about difficulty and stuff like that, my most happy... Because remember last year, at the end of the year, we always do our, here's our resolutions or whatever, and I said I was going to play more fighting games, right? And I've played a lot of Injustice, Guilty Gear, Tekken, and stuff.
That's
and
true.
Honestly, out of everything that I've done, like, learning Tekken and actually learning the game has made me the happiest thing, like, all throughout the year. So I'm, like, super happy. I understand the game now. I can watch it. It's hype, and the game is great. So.
Very cool.
DBFZ.
DBFZ was the Sonic Fox show.
Yeah, kind of an unfortunate situation, though, because Max plays on a joystick, and they didn't have a joystick available for it. So he had to play on pad.
That does suck. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had to play on pad. So, I mean, he said himself, he was like, I was going to get destroyed by Sonic Fox no matter what.
Definitely was, but still.
He just couldn't control it as well because he had to play it on a different controller. So
that's too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it wasn't a new build. In fact, I heard that it was an older build than the most recently playable one.
Okay.
But even still, it was just cool to watch. It was cool to see somebody like Sonic Fox put his thoughts into the game and see some... I mean, I haven't followed the development super closely, but I hadn't seen somebody move around with Android 16 in the way that he did, so I thought that was very interesting.
It was also funny, too, because I was sitting next to some TOs while I was watching the exhibition, and they were just like, anybody asks for this game to be 3 out of 5, I'm going to shoot them.
Yeah, it lasted a long time now, but
we don't know, right?
I suspect it'll end up fast.
Exactly, we don't know. All the Marvel games start off slow,
always,
and then they just end up becoming like, how fast can you die? You know,
for sure. So, we'll see. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I don't want to poop on Max. I thought he did some cool stuff. I thought PL did some cool stuff. It was very cool to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Good stuff to them. Good stuff to...
Fun-looking game, for sure.
Yes. And a great event. Great event. Glad to see Tekken World Tour. I mean, last year, Tekken World Tour finals were really cool to watch. You know, and this year I felt like it was the same thing. So, I want to say kudos to them, but should I say kudons to them instead?
This guy.
Yeah. So kudons to the Tekken and the Bandai Namco team to doing a great job running this tournament.
All right.
But that wasn't the only thing that happened this weekend.
Nope.
Also, another championship took place this weekend, and that is, of course, the E-League Injustice 2 tournament. That was, we had the last chance qualifiers and the 2 group weeks, and then finally the top 4 came and played in the E-League World Championship. Now, I had it on in the background because, like I said, on Friday I was traveling up north.
Ah, yeah.
Which was so funny, too, because as soon as I got off the plane into my gate, I ran into LPN. Like, LPN was just standing there. He was like, hey, James. I was like, are you here to pick me up? Like, what the heck happened? He was actually traveling somewhere else. It was, like, totally random coincidence. It was funny. But, you know, I hung out with my friends and everything, so I didn't get the chance to watch it, but while we were eating dinner, I had it on in the background the whole entire time.
Well, it was a good one. Top 4 was Dragon versus Foxy Grandpa, and then Tekken Master versus Forever King. So it was cool because it was hard to know what to expect coming into it because we had all expected Sonic Fox and Theo and Samij and stuff to make it, but they did not. So Dragon was like the like your brain favorite, but a lot of their heart favorite was Tekken Master. Yeah. A lot of people thought, for example, I picked him to win, but that didn't end up happening. So
Dragon winning this felt like was like the only thing that happened that people, like, on paper was expected to happen the whole time, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So Dragon beat Foxy Grandpa 3-1. Tekken Master then beat Forever King 3-2, although it was super close.
Was that the one that... There was one where someone went up 2-0, and then they switched to, like, from Brainiac to somebody else, and he came back 3 and won it 3 in a row. I can't remember if that was winners or losers. That might have been...
I think that happened with Tekken Master, like, 2 or 3... I guess 2 times because he had 2 victories. Yeah, it happened both times.
Okay.
No, it was that Forever King was going to get dunked 3-0, and then he charged back.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
I think that's what it was, actually.
Okay.
Wait, right? So, Tekken Master started out with Dr. Fate, and it didn't go as he wanted, and then he went with Green Arrow, and then he beat Forever King. So, okay, that's what happened in the first one.
Right.
Anyway, then Foxy Grandpa beat Forever King 3-1, which was, it was cool. Not super surprising, I guess. Then Dragon beat Tekken Master in Winners Finals, Foxy Grandpa eliminated Tekken Master 3-2, and then Dragon...
That might have been the one I was thinking of, actually. I think Tekken Master went up 2-0, and Foxy Grandpa came back and won 3 in a row.
Really?
Might have been. I don't remember now. Okay.
I was there, but... And then Dragon won it all versus Foxy Grandpa 3-1.
It's harder to remember when you're working an event than it is when
it's
you're
actually hard.
Weirdly enough, that you're commentating these matches, but like it's hard to remember what happened afterwards. It's really weird.
I wasn't even commentating, but it was definitely still.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it was all really good. All the matches were awesome. We saw a bunch of different characters used.
Yeah, so someone says Foxy reverse 3-0'd. Yeah, it was.
There you go.
There it was. And I think it was Tekken Master using Brainiac at first, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, versus Brainiac versus Deadshot.
Yeah.
Right? And then he tried Atrocitus, I think. And,
yeah, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, it was really good. And I was very happy for Dragon that he won. He now has won. He won both this and EVO this year. And he did well at the IPS finals, which are like the 3 biggest things of the year. He won 2 out of 3, and he did well at the 3rd.
Right.
So, is he actually the best Injustice 2 player?
Well, here's my question. Did Dragon play Sonic Fox at EVO?
I don't think so.
I don't think he did.
Yeah.
And he did not play him here at ELEAGUE.
No.
He played him at IPS, right? At the Injustice World.
I think so. And Sonic Fox won.
And Sonic Fox won that one. Sonic Fox still has that over Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, Sonic Fox may still be the best, but he certainly... I mean, that is to say, Sonic Fox probably has the highest ceiling of any of them, but is he currently the best Injustice 2 player? Probably not, because he's been playing Marvel, and he has said that.
Yeah.
So
okay.
It may be Dragon, right now, anyway. I don't know about, like, maximum potential.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to discredit Dragon's win at all.
Of course.
But, I mean, he definitely deserves it. I mean, you can't win EVO and ELEAGUE and be like, he got lucky.
For sure.
You can't. It's just like, doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So, definitely very, very strong player, and he's got to be, I mean, he's definitely put that conversation on the table now.
Yeah.
Dragon versus Sonic
That's
Fox.
true, and that conversation has not existed since 2015.
Yeah.
Who's the best NRS game player? Sonic Fox,
right.
2015. Sonic Fox, 2016, for sure. In fact, probably 2014 even. But now, at least there's a conversation to be had, which is cool. And then I was also happy that 2nd and 3rd place were both not the U.S. You know, it's cool, America, go America, and all that stuff. But I think it's great for the state of the game that it's not just a United States game. 2nd place was the UK, and 3rd place was Bahrain, and you know there were players from Canada and France and wherever, Russia and stuff, Chile, and that was great. I think that it was really good to see, because it doesn't seem like long ago that it was really just the U.S.
Right.
That was just a few years ago. So it's been a quick development. I'm really happy to see it.
Yeah. And, you know, again, it's just another one of those situations, you know, like, play some Injustice if you get a chance. Like, honestly, some people are like, you know, I've bought games for $60 and I turned out to not like them, waste of money. Yeah, for sure. But, you know, when you watch a game, try to learn a little bit more about it as you watch it, or ask questions. Like, it's just the same message I'm always giving. Like, just because you don't play the game, don't shit on everybody else's game, etc. And I don't blame people, because the problem with it is, it's always whoever casts the first stone, right? Someone's going to be like, your game sucks because this game is ugly. And then they're going to be like, what? Well, your game is stupid because zoning is dumb, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it just kind of perpetuates that kind of thing. You know what I mean? So it's hard to stop. It's hard to stop that. But, you know, again, it's just a lot easier to be like, hey, this game doesn't necessarily appeal to me.
Yeah.
If you don't like the game. So
sure.
That's totally valid. If you don't like the game, it's totally valid. So
we'll talk about it.
Oh, yes. Okay.
We'll talk about it.
Fair enough.
So it wasn't just that there were the ELEAGUE finals that night. There was also an announcement of the next season's DLC, the Fighter Pack 3. We already knew Adam was coming. And then, whoa, it turns out Enchantress is coming. She was heavily rumored to be coming.
Right. But then
Asai gets thrown onto the screen, and is Melina coming? Is it Melina?
I didn't even think about that.
And then somebody walks up with a trench coat. Is it Constantine? No, it was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Raphael.
Of all things.
came out of, and it's funny too because
even now I'm laughing about it.
My best friend, who I stay with, right, who I stayed with up there, he is the biggest DC fan ever. And one of the comics that, even before this weekend, but for very long periods of time, he's always like, this is one of the best ones, is Batman TMNT crossover.
Okay.
He was always like, this is a great... So as soon as I saw that, I was like, that makes sense to me.
Yeah. It's not as out of nowhere as some people might think, but...
and at least it's all comic book related, right?
Definitely, yeah. And they look good. They look great.
They looked really good. They looked really nice.
I love the design in them.
Well, it's funny to me because now that I have the realization that Adam is in season 3 and Hellboy is season 2,
yeah,
the discrepancy in what I feel like their animation styles, like Adam looks really good, the Turtles look really good, so maybe something happened between 2 and 3, or they stepped something up, or they were cool. Like, you know, or I don't know. We'll see.
Anyway, the Turtles, and as far as I know, we don't know that much more about them. I don't have any secret info, but I wonder. Like, I assume that it is one character because they talked previously about them having 3 characters.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
So that's what I assume, but I don't know if that's true, and I don't know if is it like in game are you like switching between the different guys?
In the trailer, literally, like they're starting to talk and they're like, "I'm going to get him," and then I think Leo's like, "No, guys, we fight as a team," and then they all charge, right?
Right.
So yeah.
So are you just like switching your dude constantly, or is it like Leo? Yeah, Leo like throws Donatello or whatever. Like I have no idea.
Because someone also said maybe it's like a Triborg kind of thing, right?
That makes sense too.
But here's the thing: like, why would you do the Triborg thing? Because if you put them all as separate characters, actual separate characters, you would sell 4 turtles.
Well, that's
if you
true.
made a Triborg, you would sell 1 turtle, right? So, like,
that's a good point.
I feel like it's probably more of an assist or a swapping kind of thing, you know.
Well, at a minimum, I mean, you could sell, like maybe like the default is Michelangelo, and then maybe you can buy like Premier Skin Donatello.
Oh,
I don't know. I hope it's not that.
I hope it's not, because if they all fight the same and you just change their gear to make them look like the different turtles, that would be an issue. I would have an issue with that, actually.
And it would be weird, actually, because like the gear would make a huge impact. Yeah, the difference between a sai and a bow is huge.
Yeah, exactly. And a bow is only one hand. Like Leonardo would have swords in 2 hands and sais in 2 hands. So,
I don't know. I think it's more likely that they're like playing together in some way.
Because I mean, why would they put that in the trailer? We fight as a team if that wasn't their intention.
For sure.
So.
And yeah, as people are saying, I think trait makes a lot of sense as like the way to switch.
Oh,
right? Either the way to switch or the way to like call the assist or whatever. So. Very interesting. Very interesting. I kind of can't still believe that they are going to be in the game. And not only is that the wildest thing to me, the actual craziest thing is that they kept that a secret.
Dude, I was about... Yeah.
That is wild.
Dude, even Ed Boon said that at some point. He was like, I can't believe this was a secret for so long.
It's crazy. No, it's crazy. It wasn't even rumored. You know? Like I said, Enchantress was rumored, but... nobody was talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Exactly.
I heard people talking about Shaggy and stuff. Did you hear about that?
Like from Scooby-Doo?
Yes, from Scooby-Doo.
Zoinks!
That's apparently in the game itself. There was like a file that referenced Shaggy or Scooby.
Dude, you know they're trolling people.
That's what I think now in retrospect.
That's genius on them.
Hilarious.
Yeah, because otherwise it would have made no sense. I mean, what were they going to do? What were they going to do?
I mean, it was...
Well, I guarantee you that his Shaggy Super would involve driving the mystery van and exploding on someone in the center of the screen. So, zoinks!
In any case, it's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they look great.
Shaggy and Scooby and the Scooby Gang, they met Batman. They have met Batman and Robin, right? So it would have fit. It would have worked. They're all in the same universe.
Yeah,
you know?
You're right.
Ruh-roh. Trait would have been like, Shaggy would have been playing like Harlequin. He's like throws Scooby snacks. And you see Scooby run from the side.
That's funny you say that because I have the same conversation with like 3 other people, and they all said the same thing.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Laugh track, dude. That would have been so funny.
That would be
dude.
great.
Like you actually see them do the clash, boom, and they'd be like, "No, Scooby, help me!"
Yeah.
And you hear, "Oh!"
That would be so
background,
funny.
dude, that'd be great.
Well, it is true, as people in the chat are referencing, that some DC fans were not happy about it. And if, in fact, if you go onto the tweet where the Injustice game or Ed Boon or whatever is talking about it, like it has the reveal trailer, all the responses that are liked most are like, I can't believe it. I wasted money on this. It should have been Beast Boy or whatever. You know what I mean? So not everybody was stoked. But
I mean, same thing with Noctis, right? You just get all these.
Same thing with Noctis, but Noctis. I feel like that makes sense as a business decision. Well, I feel the same way about TMNT. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just people are talking about the game in a way that they would not have if it had just been Beast Boy.
Dude, a lot of people.
No offense against Beast Boy, but like he's a DC character, and it would make all the sense in the world if he were in there, and the news would just be like, yeah, the character who doesn't have any surprise at all is in there, or that's it. Right. But TMNT is going to bring in people.
Dude, there's so many people like, I don't care about Injustice, but I'm 100% buying the game now.
Yeah.
Just to play TMNT, right? So.
Look, I don't know that much about Beast Boy. All right?
Beast Boy is also from Teen Titans, right?
That's all I know about him, and I've seen the show.
Like
maybe
Starfire is from there, and Cyborg was in there.
Yeah,
and,
although I think at least Cyborg, he was in other stuff.
Was he? Okay.
I don't know that much about this. So.
Do you want to do it? Do you want to do it? Are we gonna?
What are we doing?
Are we gonna do this?
I don't know.
Are we gonna do incite the craziness? Because there's only those few things that you talk about on social media that incite craziness, right?
What are we doing?
Final Fantasy.
Oh, who's our favorite turtle?
burger?
I see.
Turtle.
Yeah.
Turtle.
Yeah.
I mean, we know who each other's favorite turtle is, right?
Donnie.
Yeah, I'm a Leo boy. I've always been Leonardo. Donatello was clearly number 2 for me, though. Like, it's like Leo, Donnie, and then, like, Raph and Mikey are, like, somewhere down there.
Do you think everybody's number 1 or 2 is Donnie?
I feel like everyone's number 1 or 2 is, like, Raphael, isn't it? Like, everybody loves Raphael because he's an edgelord, right? So he's, like, super edgy and he's
when I was a baby,
rebellious.
When I was a baby, I thought that Raph was all right. But then I grew up and I grew out of that phase.
Yeah.
Leonardo.
Dude, dude, without him, the turtles don't function, dude.
The funny thing to me about when comic books write leader characters is that they have to struggle to find ways to make them important because it's an inherently unimportant role, and you have to like make the stories like they have to be inserted in such absurd ways.
You take that about Optimus Prime, dude. You take that back.
It's just like Optimus Prime,
dude. Optimus Prime is the coolest, dude.
It's just like that. So I don't know. That's what I don't like about that kind of character. They have to have these different stories that are like, oh, look at me. Hey, if I wasn't here, everything would fall apart. That's not how life works. It's a bunch of nonsense. Don't you take it seriously.
Did you just take down Optimus Prime?
Yeah. Hey, man, deal with it.
I mean, Duke, I can totally understand. Duke was a square, right? But Optimus Prime. Dude, freedom is the right of all sentient beings.
Optimus is definitely cooler than Leo. I will give you that, hands down. I think Leo is among the more vanilla, less interesting leader-type characters. Yeah. I don't know why a smart, good fighter like Donnie even needs that guy around, I'm be honest with you.
Because he's not doing anything, dude.
I don't
Without Leonardo,
that.
he just becomes tech support, dude. That's all he does, is just sit there on the
It's
phone
not tech
and
support
answer.
if you're the one inventing everything. You're not tech support.
He literally, in fact, in the movie, just ended up doing tech support.
Well, that's true. That's a funny thing. Like I said, I feel like...
He did nothing.
I feel like...
He did nothing.
Like, authors have to struggle to find ways to make leader-type characters relevant, and they often have to struggle to find ways to make characters like Donnie, who's definitely the best, seem less important. So, that's how it is. Deal with it, bub.
I definitely don't agree with that. Oh, man. I mean, what about, like, I just thought of another leader character that was like Batman. Batman is always leader of Justice League, right?
Batman is a super interesting character on his own.
Right.
Super interesting character.
Exactly. So you
Yeah.
can be
No, it's not mutually exclusive for sure. You can be an interesting leader character, but if you're created as the leader, like Batman had a whole history, then he becomes a leader and stuff. But if you're like, my only role is I'm the leader, then
What about Leader One? No, I'm just kidding. That character
then you're
was
boring,
butt.
so.
That character was butt for sure. So
all right.
okay. Wait, how is Batman is Leo?
I've been saying
Superman
Bub a
is
lot.
Leo?
That's true.
You've been saying Bub a lot, dude.
Bub.
I actually just watched Logan for the first time yesterday.
You know what? It's not even because of
Wolverine.
Wolverine. Yeah, it's
Snicked Bub.
yeah. No, I know, but it's because here's the full story. One of the like cutesy things that you call kids among Jews is bubala.
Okay.
Little bubala. And I have a little cat who I called that his name is Ajax, but I called him Bubala for a little while when he was a little baby, and now I call him Bub. So I am constantly saying the word bub, and it's definitely infiltrated the rest of my lingo.
Let's go, Bub. So I mean,
Sorry.
you might as well just pretend it's from Wolverine.
That's way cooler.
Sounds cooler, right? So,
For sure, cooler story.
But it's just like what people are saying. Like I think the best tweet was that, you know, what a time we live in, where Noctis is in Tekken, TMNT is in Injustice, and there are no X-Men in Marvel.
Geese is in Tekken,
yeah,
right?
and there's no X-Men in Marvel.
It's a weird time.
Oh man, I mean, honestly, like, I feel like this is like long-term Evo Sunday. Because, like, honestly, when I was watching Evo Sunday, it was like, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, Ruby, oh my god, what the hell? Arika's like, hey, look at this crazy game, we got Darren Meister's coming back, Geese Howard, oh my god, crazy. It's like, what's Capcom gonna do?
I know, yeah.
Abigail! What the hell? Like, so I'm like, dude, like, it's only a few weeks until Capcom Cup.
That's true, yeah.
It's only a few weeks. I mean, do they have anything? Like, Shaggy had better show up in Marvel vs. Capcom now. Zoinks!
It'd be so funny. Well, I guess we can talk about that in a little bit, maybe when we talk about Marvel Infinite Leakage.
Yeah, sure.
There's probably not that much else to say on the topic. But is there anything else to say on Injustice 2 ELEAGUE?
Not that I can think of. I mean, hopefully ELEAGUE is happy and continues to do more fighting game stuff, so we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I read that the Nielsen ratings were like 230,000 people for the first couple of weeks. But of course they expect the finals to be bigger,
right?
And those numbers are not out yet.
Yeah. So. I wonder, like, okay, let me just ask you this question though: for Street Fighter V or for Marvel vs. Capcom, right? If they were going to announce characters and there was no crazy guest character and they just announced characters within the franchises, right? Do you think that they could make as big of a splash as TMNT or Noctis, or do you think that they're already asked out? Outside of like, oh, here's Wolverine and Magneto, right? If they put Wolverine, Magneto, Storm in there, everyone's going to be kind of hyped for that, right? So,
well, I guess. I mean, certainly our community, the more hardcore people would be hyped for that. I'm not sure that like Random Joe would be super stoked.
Okay.
I mean, probably more stoked than with the current roster, but I don't think that has the same kind of draw as like all of a sudden Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know. It is hard for me to see that could happen.
Right, and outside of the guest character Strider showing up in Street Fighter, but I mean, is there like there's no character like Sagat and Sakura are probably like the two that people are asking for the most. So if they showed up, I don't think anybody would be like, "Oh my god!" Right? So
yeah, it'd be more like, "Yay, I was right," or whatever,
uh-huh,
rather than "I can't even believe it."
Right, exactly. Like I don't think Street Fighter has any potential for that, right? Unless they put in Retsu. I mean, come on. If they put in Retsu, dude, everybody would be so hyped because come on.
Good old Retsu.
Yeah, he was the first guy you fought in Street Fighter 1 and he sucked, so he was really...
He was kind of weird looking at the time. It would be hard to see. I don't know. I think they're in kind of a bind, but I would certainly love to see something awesome. And especially in Marvel, which probably has more capability for that, it would be great to see. I mean, there are so many interesting Marvel characters, even aside from X-Men. And you know, Capcom has a lot of funky choices themselves.
Yeah, yeah. They could put in. I mean, Capcom could definitely put in a lot of cool characters into MVCI for sure.
Yeah.
So, okay.
And you know, there's always the chance of making a partnership with some other company. It wasn't so long ago that they did Street Fighter Cross Tekken. That was not that long ago.
Or they put in the little tiny cats and Fat Mega Man. You mean?
Well, yeah. Fat Mega Man was pretty gnarly. But no, you know, they had a whole Tekken versus Street Fighter thing. Like they had all the Tekken characters, so it's conceivable that they could have some other games characters in there, but I wouldn't bet on it.
Right. Okay. Captain SWAT.
I'm rooting for him.
Captain SWAT. Only if they make sure his V trigger or his critical art is the exact same as it was in the Saturn version.
I don't remember.
Captain SWAT raised his arms up and he slid forward with shadows. And he was unstoppable.
Oh, really?
He had infinite hits of armor.
Oh my god!
And would just slide forward and hit you 5 times with 1 frame of animation. He literally just did this and slid forward and went, and like he went through everything. It did not get stopped, dude.
That's crazy.
It was the most ridiculous thing, dude. Oh my god. All right, lots of cool stuff happening this weekend. So, but later on, after the break, we will talk about some cool stuff coming up this weekend. So, be right back, guys. I tried clicking the button early this time.
Oh no, I did the eyebrows too early.
Oh.
All right. Welcome back to the show. What do you got for me, James?
Before we get started with what's coming up this weekend, we have something very, very important.
Extremely important information coming up.
Extremely important information. So, here, let me see if I can get this for you guys.
Extremely important information.
Very,
coming
very
up shortly.
Important. Very, very important in... Blah! There we go. There we go.
It'll be huge.
There you go.
Oh, that's hilarious. I just realized the writing. Yup. Genius.
There is your greatest animated super move in history. Actually, let me unmute it. So people at home can hear this.
Well, that happened.
Kawada, win!
Now,
Perfect!
I think that win pose is the same pose as the super, but the camera was from a different angle.
Could have been, actually. Maybe they were like, we need to give him a super. Crap. Hey, we actually took a picture of him sideways, so let's just do that.
That's what I'm saying.
There you go. I think you have solved one of the greatest mysteries of this game.
Solved it. Well, before we talk about the Battlegrounds, as the thing up here says we're going to do, I wanted to talk about Hellboy.
Yes.
Who is now out.
Yes.
In the world for Injustice 2. The patch came out last week for Xbox.
Yes.
It's now live also for PlayStation. And the game is now on Steam.
Yes.
So you can play it on anything.
Yes.
Anything you want. Anything you want, and it is there. And I have played on Steam, and it's great.
Okay.
It feels just like PS4 to me.
Nice.
So
nice.
It feels great.
Okay.
Hellboy seems really good.
Oh, yeah?
I think he seems super good.
Okay.
He has a ton of tools. He has a bunch of good normals in the mid-range. Mids and highs, but they both seem really good. He has, like, Doomsday's shoulder from Injustice, kind of runs at you. And then on meter burn, it's +5.
Is there any armor on it? Can he get
He can turn on armor. His trait is that he can turn on armor. He can turn on armor, or he can make it so that he does more damage, or he can make it so that he takes less damage, or he can make it so that if you kill him, he comes back to life.
They gave him the Jason thing?
They gave him the Jason thing. But you have to choose which one you want.
Right. Okay. But if he hits you with the meter burn shoulder, does he get a combo off of it? Does it pop?
I think it's just the knockdown.
Oh, okay.
If I recall correctly. He also has Cheetah's Hop, except if you don't do anything with it, it's a low.
He has the hooligan throw slide?
Yeah, okay. Hooligan slide. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
The Akuma demon flip slide?
Demon flip slide,
yeah,
sure. Except you can air dash cancel it. He has an air dash.
That's where... Oh, but he can air dash anytime.
Whenever he wants. But he can also do it out of this command jump.
Do you feel like this might be Alien Part 2?
I'm not sure about that, but he's very good. He does a buttload of damage. The mix-ups that I've already seen on the internet are pretty wild, as you can imagine. Cross-up or not, for, wild. And the command hop is close or mid or far. So just because you see him going up into the air doesn't mean you know where he's landing.
Yeah, okay.
And he can cancel it, too, from the air, and just land and block. There's a lot of stuff. He also has a gunshot, which is pretty fast, actually. And although it's a high, you can definitely duck it. It's high enough that I tested as Swamp Thing, and it's really hard to jump over. You have to time the top of your little jump there to possibly get over it. But he also has an anti-air gunshot anyway, which is fast. He seems really good.
Okay.
I would not say Alien. I don't think that is
right.
I think
Alien
that's
was kind of on a level
trashy.
of kind of silliness. Right?
Alien and Tanya in the last game were
right.
They're not doing that again. But I do think he's very strong. When Starfire first came out, I thought the same. I thought she seemed kind of crazy. They did end up nerfing her, even before she was legally playable in tournaments.
Oh, okay.
Like in the first month. We'll see if that ends up happening with the old Hellboy, because I feel like, man, there's some juice in there, and it's pretty juicy, I gotta tell you. Oh, he has a command grab.
He has a command grab?
It's duckable, but he has a command grab.
Okay.
He also has an anti-air grab that's really strong. Okay. Out of the air, It stops Brainiac's dive kick, which almost nothing in the game does.
Dang. Without meter?
Yeah. Dang. And then you meter burn it for a full combo.
So you can grab him and then meter burn it?
And then meter burn it in full combo.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's got a lot of tools, dude. Got a lot of tools. So.
I mean, I've seen some of the mix-up videos for him and stuff like that. He looks so boring to me.
Yo, it's crazy testing him out. So the big hand is always his backhand. It's all like an animated, his graphically backhand. Is all.
Right.
So if you switch the stances, whichever one's behind him is the big hand.
Oh, it just changes into the big hand?
Yeah.
When you stance switch?
Yeah.
Because you'll be facing forward, so the big hand is over here, and then if you stance switch, it...
If you're facing the camera and facing left, the big hand is this guy.
Oh, okay.
And then if he switches, now it's this guy.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that's a little weird. So when you're doing combos and you're moving around and stuff, and if you're doing these crazy side switch things in the air with air dash, command jump air dash, constantly switching around. It's constantly moving, dude. It's crazy looking.
It's kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But I even just outside of that, I just feel like his animations are not exciting. He just looks the same. I don't know. He has this big giant stone hand. I just feel like there should be more weight to it.
He doesn't even use it for that many things. It's stand 3, he goes like this. And so the big old hand. But his other, some of his command normals are the big old thingy.
Right.
But his stand 1 is the little fist and this.
Right. See, this is what I mean. I just in the version of the Hellboy movie, one of the most standout scenes is where he just punches the car that's driving at him and he flips it over his head. He has this giant hand of stone. I want to see impact with this thing, and just but he's just doing kicking and stuff like that's that again, and it's just but see, that's why Adam looks so cool to me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because he wasn't doing a lot of that stuff. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I'm with you on Adam.
Okay.
I agree. It's same complaints about animation that I think both of us have had basically forever about Internet games, but it's certainly improving. And
especially because the turtles also look super cool too.
They look
right?
great.
Yeah, but we haven't seen any gameplay footage of them yet, so we don't know yet.
Right. Anyway, he seems really fun and probably really good. Probably really good. I've also been playing a lot with the new patch. I gotta tell you, my man Swamp, I think he's super legit. I think he's super good.
He wasn't as bad as people thought, and now he might be too good. Legit,
he's not too good. For sure.
Okay.
He definitely still loses matchups. But the mirror change that little back forward 3 where he like runs and kind of goes under the ground and he hits you, that's holdable.
Right.
I feel like that is one of the biggest changes in the whole game, kind of under the radar. Because he can use that to go under projectiles super easily. From maximum screen range, you do one of those, and then you're already in range for your big forward 2 bat. It basically just like kills zoning. It gets him out of situations. If somebody wants to jump in on you, you just go underneath. I feel like it's really good.
You said it also goes under Superman, like forward 2, 3. Right?
It goes under normals. Yeah. It's really, really good.
Okay.
I haven't really seen the other characters that were changed a lot, like Firestorm and Joker. But, we talked about this last time. It seems like they're going to be quite improved.
Is Senpai asking about Swamp Thing? Are his combos still as hard as at release?
Oh, you know what? They actually made it so that his combos work more easily.
Okay.
The forward 2-3-3, which is the big this guy into overhead. He could always link another forward 2 afterward. But it was really hard and character specific.
Okay.
But now it seems like it's pretty legit. Now it seems like you can always do it.
Okay. That's cool.
He seems a lot better. But yeah, like I said, I haven't seen a Joker yet, haven't seen a Firestorm yet. I think they're a lot better. But we'll see. I've heard from some Deadshot players that they think he's dead. That they think he was like too nerfed. I don't know if that's real.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it could be the Cyrax thing again, right? Like, you took away the obvious good thing, and then all of a sudden people are going to find other good things.
He definitely did get nerfed, but I don't know if he died. We'll see, though. We'll see. All right.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about what's coming up this weekend.
Hellboy.
Well, he's already out, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about what's coming out this weekend.
Coming weekend. What's coming up this coming weekend?
Red Bull Battlegrounds is coming up this weekend. This is the North America regional finals.
Yo, is it a placebo change? No way.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Forward 2 actually didn't get changed? Are you telling me the truth there? Yeah. Because everybody has said that they feel like their combos are easier. I thought my combos were hitting easier, and then somebody on Twitter was like, hey, forward 2 got buffed. And I was like, wow, okay, I thought I was just playing well today. But no, I guess if it's not true, let me know, my man.
Interesting. Okay. But, I mean, I guess Sonic Fox said Captain Cold got nerfed a lot, too.
Yeah, he said that last time. I haven't seen anybody actually play Cold yet.
That's unfortunate.
People are also talking about Black Manta as being super, super strong. He didn't actually get changed, but
right.
He may have just been strong.
But yes,
Paulo, let me know, man.
This weekend is coming up. Is going to be Red Bull Battlegrounds. That is going to be the North America Regional Finals. So this actually has some potential impact for the Capcom Cup standings because it is restricted to only North American players, right? So if you're from the other regions, you can't enter it in here. But a lot of players, no matter what, if somebody who is below Sako wins, Sako's gone.
Yeah.
He is out of the tournament. It's only if like Knuckle Dew or Punk or whoever else would. But no matter what, if it's not Punk, the standings will change. Only if Punk wins will the standings not change because he's already number 1. But if Knuckle Dew wins it, he becomes number 1. Right? So like there will be changes in the standings in some form or another. But the biggest threat right now is that Sako probably is very scared right now of getting.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's, well, I was gonna say it's probable. I don't know about probable, but yeah, he has to worry.
But I mean, you've got a lot of players here who. So just to clarify to people, only the winner gets points.
Right.
Nobody else gets points. This is true of all the regional finals. You only just get the 400 points for winning it. And even if that doesn't throw you into the top 30 or 31, whatever it is right now, you still are guaranteed to get in, just like a Didymokov, right? So Didymokov total is not high enough to be in that top 30, whatever, 30, now it's 31 or whatever like that. But he's in no matter what. So it could happen again. If there's a couple of players that were in position that I felt like could have the potential to do that. Let me see. I'm going to bring the Capcom Pro Tour rankings up just so I can talk about that a little bit.
While you do that, Paulo says that forward 2, Swamp Thing's forward 2, got changed like pixels. It's harder to low profile, not to the point where people are like from 10% to 100% now. No timing changed. I didn't think that the timing had changed, but I did think that the hitbox was a little bit bigger. So I wonder if it's that pixels change that's actually making it... Because the weird reason it whiffed is that people couldn't quite connect at the bottom. So I wonder if that actually is why forward 2 links more easily.
That could be.
I don't know. I guess we got to look into that maybe.
So
and we talked about the changes all last week, by the way, if you're interested.
Yeah.
Look at the old last week's video. We went in depth.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if guys like... I'm sure PR Balrog's got to go, right? Alex Myers is probably going to go. Both of those guys, if they win, they're still not in the points total high enough, but that will get them in for sure. So those are 2 players. But even guys like Flash, Christotarian, Kaba's listed here, but technically he can't enter this regionals one right here. Idom is another one who has very potential chance to take this. Brian F. It's another one. K-Brad, Chris G, Filipino champ.
Samurai?
Did I miss Samurai?
Yeah, he was right there. It just says
Samurai.
Samurai.
That's right. Okay, yeah, I think that's probably... It's weird, just not seeing that XSK made it that much more confusing for me. Let's see here.
Yeah, those are certainly all chances.
LPN's there. Even Wolfkrone, and we'll talk about Wolfkrone in a little bit. Where's Nephew from?
He is, I think, Canadian.
Okay, Vagabond. I mean, Canadian players they're in there. Are in here. Commander Jesse, Ricky Ortiz, even Alucard, Shine,
Pinoy.
all those guys. Yeah,
there's a lot of folks who could do damage for sure.
I mean, you think the odds are in Sako's favor, but the only way. So again, to repeat, the only way for Sako to stay in the tournament is if Punk, Knuckledew, Justin Wong, Snake Eyes, Smug, or 801 Strider win.
Yeah.
So one of those 6 guys right there. Only if any of those guys win the tournament, Sako stays in. So his ability to stick around rests on those guys right there.
And it's not about how many points Flash needs. He just wins this tournament, and he's in.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Yeah, no matter what, whoever wins this is in.
Right.
Right? But if it isn't one of those 6 guys, Sako's out.
Right. So, how do you feel about his chances? Those are some very strong players.
You know what? It really depends. Because, like, if Punk and Knuckledew are playing and stuff like that, and they don't have as much, they don't have as much on the line.
Well, they have money on the line. I mean, there's a big pop bonus.
Right. But still, inside the back of your head, you're like, you know what? I'm still in Capcom Cup.
Okay, maybe.
You might lax a little bit here.
You wouldn't give it 110%? You wouldn't go out there and execute
it? But yeah, it's true. Winner does get 12K, so it's going to be hard to sandbag in that kind of situation. So hopefully there's... See, that's the thing, is I'm not concerned about sandbagging. I'm not concerned about intentional playing less to your ability. I'm talking about subconscious playing to your ability. You know what I mean? You just might just be like, well, I'm in, so...
Well, if I had to say, I would say that I think Sako's chances of staying in are likely, just because Punk those players. I feel like that collection of players has a pretty good chance to take the event. But, you can totally see somebody else from one of the many players that we mentioned coming in and doing things. Brian F. could totally win this tournament. I mean, Chris G, K-Brad, etc., Filipino champ.
I really hope Snake Eyes is there, because we haven't seen him play since CEO practically. He played in a couple of he played in an exhibition, wasn't it? But
he went to EVO.
Yeah, he went to EVO, but EVO's a bloodbath, right?
Yes,
so so I'm really curious to see. I just haven't seen him play in a while.
No, didn't he went to something afterward?
He played at E3. He played at an exhibition at E3 and stuff like that. So Northwest Majors, someone said. Someone tweeted that he is going. Okay, cool. Yeah, he was at the Japanese exhibition as well. Yes,
definitely he is not retired. But I do remember talking with him at an event.
I said he's gonna body Anakin and ST. Oh man.
Oh well, he's pretty good at ST.
Yeah.
We'll talk about ST and stuff in a bit. I just wanted to look this up. He got 5th at Northwest Majors.
Okay.
And he got 5th at Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah,
in September.
It was the Tokyo Game Show, the Japan one. Yes.
And he got 7th at East Coast Throwdown. So it's not like he's done nothing since Evo, but he certainly hasn't been traveling as much and doing as well, because he won CEO and he got second at Combo Breaker and second at Texas Showdown, and he had a pretty incredible first half of the year.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I remember talking with him, and he said that he was not going to be going to as many events because he just wanted to hide and not have people think about him. Now, it was explicitly the strategy.
Interesting.
So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, man.
But
we'll see how that goes.
Look, the Red Bull Battlegrounds last year was in Seattle, and this year it's going to be in Boston. But when it was in Seattle last year, they did a lot of really cool things there.
Yes.
They had a really nice art show there. That was like one of my favorite things there. But the venue was really nicely done. They had those artists on the side, like actually like spray painting a bunch of, like spray painting some murals and stuff like that during the course of the weekend. I know they're doing that again. They had some old consoles there. They had some old cabinets. They had an STN and a Hyper Fighting cabinet. But this year, apparently, they have not just the artist thing, but they're going to have like a VR bonus stage where you can blow up a car or something like that.
Yeah.
And they're also going to have tournaments for some of the classic games going on over there. So Odo-chan and Aniken, Aniken, not the Tekken player, but like two of the greatest ST players of all time.
They're brothers, right?
Are those guys the brothers? I thought it was Odo-chan and someone else.
I believe... You know what? I'm not going to say I have any confidence in that. Okay.
Okay. But they're going to be there. And there's supposed to be like a Third Strike tournament that's going on over there as well. Yeah.
They're playing SF4? Oh, yeah. They're playing all the old games.
That's actually cool. That actually is...
I think it's awesome, dude. Yeah, there's Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, and Ultra Street Fighter 4 tournaments all going on. They are the brothers, right?
They are the brothers? Oh,
yes.
Okay.
This is what I was going to say. I was going to say... Annie means brother. And I thought to myself, you're not sure about that. But thank you.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah, brother Ken.
Yeah, but it is going to be it's going to be in Boston this weekend.
Yeah.
So if you are anywhere in the area and you can make it there, you should definitely do it and check it out. I mean, even... Like, the thing about it is these events these days are starting to get to that point. Evo's like that. I know CEO is shaping up to be something big in 2018. But these events are starting to get to the point right now where you can show up and have a great time even if you're like, oh, I suck, I can't enter the tournament. Like, you don't even have to enter, right? You can just go. And keep in mind, too, that... I'm thinking of something else. There's a last chance qualifier tournament at Capcom Cup. There's no like qualifier tournament here, right? At Battlegrounds.
So no, there's the last chance one is at Capcom Cup.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, there's a last chance to get into the tournament itself.
I kind of remember something like that. No, it's just the tournament. So there you go. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of cool stuff going on.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Have you ever been to Boston?
Yes, for a PAX East. A long time ago. However, my parents, they're both retired now. They've been traveling a lot. My parents went to that area, Niagara Falls, and all this stuff like that. He keeps insisting, he's like, go to Quincy Street Market. It's so nice. Oh, Quincy Street Market is so good. It's like, I'm like, oh, sure. I mean, we very rarely have chances to travel and like check things out. But if we have a chance, hopefully we'll actually get to go see it. Go check it out.
I looked up the schedule. Mm-hmm. So we're going to land at about 5 p.m. Thursday.
Yes.
So I don't know that we're basically go to eat. I don't know.
Right.
Go to sleep, the old man.
Like
or that. We'll see. But then.
So all regional finals do have a last chance qualifier. So is the regional finals like the certain players that have? Because when you won the ranking events, you get flown out to that event, right?
Yeah, isn't that how it is?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, so there you go. Okay.
Anyway, maybe on Friday because there's a rehearsal, but that's only a few hours. Other than that, we basically have the day.
Okay, cool.
That would be
we'll
cool.
have a chance to check it out. So, but I mean, even when I was there for PAX East, I didn't get to check out any of Boston when I was there.
That's how it is.
So,
it's hard.
Yeah, it's
really
hard. So, okay.
Well, there's also the Skillions Too Old, Too Furious going on this weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And at that event, this is at Next Level, by the way, in New York, Next Level Arcade, there's going to be a special guest boss. for CVS2. That's right.
What the hell? How is that?
Whatever, man. Capcom versus SNK2 will be played there. They're also going to have Street Fighter Alpha 2, Street Fighter EX2 Plus, and Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. That's going to be on twitch.tv/TeamSpooky, by the way.
I mean, this is all Boss does now, right? He funds CVS2 tournaments so he can win everybody's money and pay for a trip to the United States.
Genius.
And fly back. So there you go. So,
Genius.
K-Thron says he loves CVS2 so much. I wonder if that means he's ever played it.
Oh, boy. The old rosy glasses.
Oh, Silent Scope's going to be there too. Nice. Good
Oh,
stuff,
right.
good
Okay.
stuff.
So that's the bracket for Red Bull Battlegrounds, I guess, huh?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
You see this?
Where do you see that?
So Starving Gamer has Punk, Idom, Knuckle Deuce, Strider, Brian F. Smug, Justin Wong, and Last Chance Qualifier.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So those are the
okay.
1, 2, 3,
Gotcha,
4, 5,
gotcha.
6, 7. Yeah,
Okay,
that's the 8. So Punk, Do, Strider, Smug, and Justin are all already in
Yes.
above Sako in Capcom Cup.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's-
if Idom or Brian F. or the Last Chance Qualifier is not Snake Eyes, basically.
Right. Yeah.
If that ends up happening, one of those guys wins, then Sako's out.
So actually, that actually improves Sako's chances by a lot.
It sure does.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I think the biggest dangers are going to be probably Idom and Brian F. for sure. So
I mean, hey, maybe
those guys-
K-Brad plays ridiculously and ends up busting
dude,
through.
he has those days.
He sure does.
He has those days. Remember at Capcom Cup last year, he beat Daigo, right?
Yeah, man.
So,
He definitely does. Well, that'll be this weekend. So, anything else to say there?
nope, not that I have here. We can move on to the next topic.
What do you got?
There was a recent article about KOF published on Event Hubs, and it kind of got a lot of people talking. Got a lot of people upset.
Indeed.
Because it felt like a smear campaign against KOF in a way, right?
What was the article?
It was basically talking about why KOF wasn't as popular in the U.S.
Yeah.
And there was some, like I know they got like random tweets from Chris Tatarian quoted in there. And
Without his permission. BT.
Yeah, and just there was topics like, oh, it's the graphics again, et cetera, et cetera. And so it was a lot of like old kind of like, it's like you're digging up old wounds.
The motions are difficult.
Yeah, there's 3 characters, there's too many to learn, et cetera, et cetera. So that was a problem. And it got a lot of people mad, especially KOF fans, for reasons, right? I mean,
Absolutely right.
Yeah. I mean, it's very justified for them to be angry because it's like, here's this game that they're trying to prop up as much as possible and trying their best to like play and promote. And here comes this article. It's like, this game's not good because graphics are ugly, 3 characters, blah, blah, blah. Weirdly, ironically, I feel like that it almost kind of helped KOF a little bit because the players all came out and all of a sudden there was the I play KOF because hashtag
Right.
and everyone started talking about that. And like, I just heard like Choi Sauce hung out with Reynold and somebody else and they just played some KOF 13, for fun, and et cetera, et cetera. But like, weirdly
That's
enough,
cool.
it's kind of funny. I think it actually kind of...
It galvanized it, huh?
Yeah,
Galvanized the
kind
community a bit.
of gave them a little bit in there. So
Well, that is funny. It was an unfortunate article. I'm sure there was no malice behind it, but it was definitely poorly done, and it's an unfortunate topic to pick and not have some interesting answer.
right,
Because KOF is not popular in North America, and there are reasons for that, and the reasons deserve an interesting take, but this wasn't that.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, also the author Ginny Liu actually put out a tweet and talked about it and mentioned that the article was supposed to be a lot longer, but Event Hubs doesn't want longer like they have like a word limit or something like that, and so a lot of it that was talking about other sides of it and stuff like that were cut out of there. I mean, I'm trying to.
You're not surprised.
I'm trying to bite my tongue so bad right now. You don't even know. You don't even
Why
know.
bother? I mean, that's a screw up. If so, that's
Yeah.
obviously bad to do.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm on the table. I'm not Event Hub's biggest fan.
I know.
I'm not Event Hub's biggest fan.
No, and by the way, no news there either.
Yeah.
You've definitely said that before.
I mean, I don't. But the thing is, like, I have a lot of friends who work there, like Velociraptor and all that stuff like that, and so I don't want to be like, but like, I definitely, have issues. So that's where I'm coming from. So, to find out that kind of situation, like, doesn't surprise me,
For sure.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us was surprised. But still unfortunate. And, by the way, I looked up the sales numbers for KOF 14. Mm-hmm. And disappointing. It was only like 230,000.
Yeah.
But a very large percentage of them are from North America.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Like more than any other individual region. More than the Asia region, more than, it was,
right.
That's not what I expected. So I thought that was cool to see. But in any case, certainly it does not have the tournament scene that other fighting games
a
do.
lot of people have talked about that too. And, it was interesting because it really started getting a lot of people talking about the real issues, right? And things that are causing problems. Like, a lot of people actually talked about how KOF 13 had Southtown Arcade. That really did a great job promoting the game. They talked about this a lot on Game Goons, right? With, like, Hell Pockets and Manchester and all those guys. Yeah. And, they talked about how much... Southtown Arcade, the rivalries there really helped promote 13.
Right.
And then in 14 at Wednesday Night Fights, like, they tried playing it there, but then some of the guys there didn't like losing to some of, like, the newer players, like Nerd Josh and Nakaruru. So
really?
They stopped going, or they were like, oh, you know what? It's every week is too much. Do it every other week. And then they didn't show up anyway. And, like there was a lot of issues going on, and then SoCal didn't have Bala anymore, who was a big storyline for a lot of KOF. So there's actually a lot of like little interesting things that were coming out from a lot of the SoCal players who were big fans of KOF, talking about like it's a lot more deep than just saying graphics are ugly, 3 characters, etc., like that.
That makes sense to me. It's rare that things in life are so simple.
Yeah.
I thought it was a very fun game, and if this were 10 years ago, and I didn't have Injustice, SF5, Marvel in the future, DBZ in the future, Tekken, it's just there's so many games. That's the only reason I don't play it. But I thought it was a lot of fun.
Dude, honestly, that is the biggest problem right now, and it's why I talked about before, where I feel like everyone says that this is a great age of fighting games, and like I'm kind of like conflicted on that because there's just so many. There are
a lot of good games right now.
So many games.
Guilty Gear, I didn't even mention.
Right, because I mean, in the past when there was a lot of games, it kind of messed everybody up. Right, it really kind of messed up the scene. But the scene is much bigger now, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. Not only that, but the games are just so good now. Yeah. Like all of them are balanced. All of them are competitive. You didn't play back then when it was just like like. Stupid character after stupid character killing everybody. I'm trying to think. Ukyo, that's the one I'm thinking of. Like Samurai Showdown 2. Here's Ukyo. It's like, what are you supposed to do against this character? This character kills everybody. Kind of new. So it's funny. Some people are saying they want a new Samurai Showdown. Dude, new Samurai Showdown would be great.
Interesting, yeah.
Dude, I want a new Rival Schools.
Indeed.
I want Arxis to make a new Darkstalkers game.
Haha, yeah.
They're the only ones. Oh, shout outs to Punch Planet game for donating some bits. And I'm not, look, just so people know ahead of time, I already plan to talk about their stuff. I'm not talking about their stuff because he came in and donated money on our
That's
stream,
very funny.
Okay? I have them. They're in my like here. I haven't. No one's heard me click or touch anything, but see, there it is. It's listed here as a topic that we are going to talk about. So,
he's right.
So just want to make sure.
All right. Anyway, this article happened. It's not the greatest. Let's move on.
Yeah, but I mean, supposedly she's writing a follow-up article.
Like I said, I'm sure that Ginny did not intend malice.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
And she likes the game too. She likes the game too. So. Okay. Yeah. So unfortunate kind of situation there, but in a weird way, it got everybody talking about KOF again. So hopefully, people start playing it. So there you go.
Okay.
All right. So 5th topic here is just the FGC news. Do you want to take a break, or do you want to let's just do this?
Barrel through.
There's not that much to talk about.
No, actually.
Ultimate barrel through. Ultimate barrel through. So remember now, for the Battle for the Stones, to get into the final tournament, there was also going to be some online qualifiers. Those are open for registration now, so you may sign up and go for those now. So You can go to, is it on Smash.gg?
Yeah,
so you
it's
can
on
register on Smash.gg for the online Battle for the Stones tournaments and try to get in there. Of course, if you win the ones, you don't get any stones or any crazy things like that, but you get to be in the event. And I believe there's supposed to be 3 of them, right? Because there were 6.
I think there's 3, yeah.
6 and then 6 previous winners.
I believe there's one in each of Europe, Latin America,
Oh,
North America.
okay, there you go. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So you can sign up for that now. That is open for signups. Also, we were talking about Dissidia, Final Fantasy Dissidia a little bit. Tomorrow, actually, Wednesday Night Fights is going to do an open tournament and have like some crazy Dissidia stuff going on there. And it is indeed in partnership with Nissan Cup Noodles.
Well, these old cup noodle folks, man, they're getting around.
Yep, exactly. So that's going to be going on tomorrow.
Featuring the Steves, huh?
Ooh, featuring Tasty Steve and Sajam hosting it. I hope they're up on their FF lore, dude. Hope they're up on their FF.
You know, I believe Steve would be.
Yeah.
That makes it, because he's just a lore fella.
Yeah.
You know, he knows that stuff. I'm not so sure about old Sajam. But we'll see. I'm sure he'll figure it out.
he's only as old as like Final Fantasy X, right?
Oh, man.
Also, in terms of event news, Michigan Masters 2018 was announced for April 14th through 18th. They got a new venue. Last year, I think they had like 20 games. Yeah, they had 20 games at this event. And so this year, they said that they basically need a bigger venue, and that's what they're going to do. So if you are in the Michigan region, you should definitely keep that on your radar. That is going to be April 14th through 15th.
Wow, in 2018? Doesn't that sound like the far future? That sounds like it's 30 years in the future to me.
I know, but it's a month and a half.
I hear
It's a month and a half, dude. It's a month and a half.
Dang. Oh, boy.
But speaking of SNK and KOF and everything like that, interestingly enough, their latest financial reports actually showed that they had huge profits.
I heard about that.
So I don't know if that was off of King of Fighters 14 or what. Was it their pachinko machines are doing well or anything like that?
Hard to know.
But they're not hurting as a company, so...
I think that's great. Hopefully they can turn that into KOF 15 or...
Well, they did talk. They talked
right.
about that. Yeah, they actually talked about KOF. Like, the creator was like, we don't know if we can do anything more for 14, but 15 is definitely something that we are trying to make happen.
Right.
So there you go.
Yeah, man, there's still no flying cars. Come on.
Dude, so
that's not... They do exist. I mean, they're not hover cars.
Yeah,
I just say you can get a car that also flies.
Right.
It's very expensive and probably not road legal, but you know.
Yeah, there's actually a song that They Might Be Giants wrote called basically the chorus is like we're trapped in a world before later on, and he's just like, where's my space ray? Where's my fly? You know, like the kind of thing. It's actually kind of funny. It's exactly what it is, man. It never feels like we're getting there, dude. And yes, so just last week, Punch Planet became available on Steam Early Access. So this is a fighting game that is literally developed, I think, the Punch Planet guy told me, by like 3 people.
Sick.
Are like working on this whole entire game themselves. It's a really neat art style to it. You can play as Dog.
Is it called Dog?
The character's name is Dog.
I'm definitely playing as Dog.
The character is a dog, and it's just Dog.
Genius.
It's Dog.
Genius.
Hello, this is Dog.
That better not change.
Hello, this
better
is
not
Dog.
be like...
yeah, so there you go. But, you know, only 4 characters available right now. But in the future, there will be 8 playable characters, online play, competitive arcade, and training modes, etc., etc. So it's available for Steam Early Access right now. So,
Sick. I'm getting in there.
Yeah, but
Dog.
Yes. So shout outs to the Punch Planet guys who also just jumped into the chat just now. So there you go. And finally, I also want to mention, interestingly enough, so one of the players that I'm assuming is going to go to this North American finals who might have the potential to do some damage is Mr. Wolfkrone.
Right.
You can never count this guy out. He got second place at Combo Breaker this year, didn't he? Or was that previous
Pretty
year?
sure it was last year.
That was last year, okay. But Wolfkrone, he's a potential to do some damage, but he was also signed to Circa Esports.
Yeah.
So now he is part of Team Circa.
Indeed.
So Wolfkrone now will be traveling around every place, and hopefully Circa treats him a little better than Team Marn, but we'll see what happens, you know.
Oh boy, what a reference. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah. He's a very talented player. And in terms of just gameplay skill, has been one of the best North American Street Fighter players for like 6 years. For like a long time.
Yeah.
But had struggled to find a team because of the non-gameplay stuff.
Right, yes,
right?
exactly.
Kind of jerky stuff that he's done. So my hope is that this is him not like pledging to tamp it down a little bit.
Yeah.
But, you know, I guess even if not, it'd be nice to see him more often because he's a really strong player, and that would be good to get more of.
Yep.
All right.
Do you want to talk about Curtain Gate?
What do we talk? What's Curtain? Oh, yeah. Right. So Marvel Infinite, there was a leak.
Yes.
There was a picture even of a leak. By the way, hilarious. The character select screen where the red extends into the blues teams area. Oh man, I know that must have kept you up that night. Oh,
you know,
boy.
there's those always those joke threads, right? Like, here's a series of pictures that will make OCD people angry.
Yeah.
So you see like the street line that goes over the manhole cover. The manhole cover was put back not correctly, so it was like cuts off, and then there's like the videos of like you see a pie and they cut it in like the most ridiculous slices, you know, just to like irk people. Dude, that's how I feel about seeing that red bleed into the blue, dude. Oh. Because the DLC characters that are coming out after the 3 that we just got, like, created an imbalance between Capcom and Marvel characters. And so, sure enough, there's this red box that's just, like, sticking into the Capcom section. And it's... Oh, God.
Well, if that's real, then, yeah, well, you know, it's real.
Yeah. But there was a picture leaked of that character select screen.
There
was also a picture leaked of Venom standing next to like armored Jetta or some crazy
was it
Jetta
Venom,
skin.
you think?
Well, Venom or Carnage.
Yeah,
right?
this is red.
But some people said that the symbol on his chest was like from what was it? It was like an alternate Venom. I forgot what they called them.
Alrighty.
Yeah, but
Red Venom. But, yeah, that's a thing, right? Yeah.
Well, Red Venom is in Marvel vs. Capcom 1.
Oh, is that not canonical?
I don't think that's canonical. Anti-Venom, that's who it was. The symbol is like an anti-Venom symbol on him, which kind of gives them leeway to make him not play anything like the original Venom, which I really hope they do, because original Venom was really stupid.
Oh, does it say Venom on top of the screen? That's funny, I didn't even look.
Oh, really?
I don't know why.
Okay, you're probably looking a little higher than that.
Ha! Very funny.
Yeah. So someone pointed that out, and then Mecha MacGyver, I guess. He didn't spot it. He said somebody else pointed out to him. He was just the messenger. But it was funny because I saw his tweet. I was just looking at it for the longest of time. I was like, what am I supposed to be looking at? Like, what am I supposed...
I thought it was a thing about the in and out.
Yeah, and I was like, what
Mega exposed
was my reaction there. So I mean, it's funny, but there are serious aspects to it.
Well, you and I both think leaking sucks.
Right.
I would much rather be surprised. I'm super over just finding out, like, I'm just like taking a dump and I'm on my phone and guess what, Venom. I would way rather have something like the TMNT reveal. And would I feel the same way about Venom as TMNT? I'm not that as surprised. Yeah. But I would much rather see it like, Venom like jumps in and it's like, whoa, cool, he looks sick, all right.
I mean, it's just like, you know, when Urien, who we knew was coming into the game, showed up at the end of Ibuki's trailer and Joe still got hype.
Dude,
right?
I way prefer that. So leaks bum me out. And I feel bad for the people at Capcom.
Yeah.
You know.
But there's also another aspect to it, right? Because if certain people are getting early access to these things, doesn't that give them an unfair advantage in tournaments?
Well, I guess it depends on how much access they have, right?
Right.
But I can't answer that.
that's the main question, right? So, I mean, if you guys look at just go to is Mecha MacGyver, right? Is the Twitter, and you'll see the tweet there, and it's very clear that Champ has something to do with some of these leaks here, right? So, is that unfair for him? Like, some people have talked about at SCR that he potentially was playing the game long before SCR. You know, he still almost lost to Richard Wynn, but he still won, right? And so, is this kind of like an unfair advantage kind of situation? He still got blown up by Sonic Fox.
That's true.
But, like, is this a problem? Is this a problem here that some players may be getting early access to these games that, you know, have a lot of prize money involved with them? It's kind of an unfair advantage, right?
It seems like it.
You know, the leak aspect of it is like less important to me as that aspect. Okay. That part concerns me more. And, you know, in my personal opinion, I think it's unfair. I don't think it's right. You know what I mean? And so...
that makes sense to me.
Yeah, but, like, if you're a player who lives in NorCal and just has access to these things because you live in NorCal, right?
Which is
that
what
just
Capcom
happens.
is.
Because, like, I was talking to some of the people at Tekken World Tour, right? Like, I won't name names for this one because this was it was someone completely different.
Off the record.
But they were like, oh yeah, you know, I heard this about this and this. And I was like, what? I don't know anything about that. And he was like, oh. Because, like, everyone thinks we have all the inside information, right? And then him and somebody else were like, well, you know, we're in NorCal. You just end up with this information. And so I was like, okay. So, you know, like...
That's funny. That doesn't even make it down to SoCal.
Yeah, it doesn't
even filter down here.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, if you are in NorCal and you have the option to mess with these things early or figure, hey, I need to maintain my tournament integrity, what do? It's a tough decision to make. Because I really like to see these characters, you know, but I don't know, like, what... It is an unfair advantage, though. Like, if you really wanted to be straight up about it, you would be like, I'm not going to check this out because I want this to be as fair as possible.
Makes sense.
Right? So, yeah, you wait, basically. Yeah, Justin waited.
Justin did wait.
Yeah, he got it early and he did not play at SCR.
You're right. Mm-hmm. You're right. Yeah, I'm with you.
Ban the region.
I am with you. Yeah, that'd be tough.
I know Johnny Depp? How the hell would I know Johnny Depp?
Well, we live in Southern California.
Oh, okay.
Presumably where he also lives.
That's true.
I don't even know if he lives here. Does he live here?
Dude, even if he did live here, if I saw him, I wouldn't recognize him anyway, because I can't recognize anybody. Dude.
I mean, I know, but come on. He's pretty recognizable. He's a pretty unusual looking fella.
Maybe, dude. I'm so terrible at that.
I live like 2 blocks away from downtown Hollywood, right? Like maximum where the little stars are on the road and everything. And I don't see famous people very often. Right. It's like it's not unusual.
But like I said,
it's not like all the time.
Back when my best friend used to come visit me in LA all the time, like I said, there was one day he was just like, "So do you just not say anything because you see him all the time?" I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" It's like the famous people. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's like, all the famous people we always see.
Really?
And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, at the restaurant now, there was a famous person. At this other event, there was this famous person. I was like, what? I don't see any of these people.
That's very funny.
And then we were eating at Cafe 50s, and apparently Jon Favreau walked past us, and I totally didn't know.
Very funny, too.
And I was so mad, because I would have liked to have, at least known that I saw Jon Favreau Swingers. I loved that movie. I was a big fan of that movie.
Makes sense.
Man, I'm so terrible with that, dude. I'm so terrible with famous people and recognizing faces and stuff like that. And that's the other thing, too, is like, I've told people this. I've realized what one of my biggest problems now is. I can recognize faces on context. If I met you when I was talking to someone else and you're a friend of that person, if I see that person and you again, I will remember you. Uh-huh. If I run into you in a completely different place or without the original person, I can't remember who you are anymore.
I see.
Or like if I met you in SoCal and I bump into you in NorCal, that's it. I'm done. You know what I mean? Like I have context memory. You know, it's interesting. And so like I'll just run into people and I'm like, I know you, but fuck, where do I know you from?
Right.
God. Yeah, so there you go.
Did I ever tell you a story about the girl who was at my work who I couldn't remember?
Yeah, you did. Yeah. You told me. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that you're like, do I know this person?
So there was this girl at my office, in the building. I rented a small room there, but in the building there was this girl who was just walking by, and I saw her and I was like, where do I know her? Like, did we go to college together? Did we go to law school together? Is she from my hometown? Did we used to date? Like, am I going to walk back her, like, after I go to the bathroom and I see her and we have to be like, all right, hey, David, and I have to be like, hey, all right, how's it going? And I kept racking my brain. And then I realized that I know her from work. She worked there.
she just worked in
She was actually the front desk lady that I saw every morning.
She just... Yep.
So I definitely know what it is like to get screwed up in the old brain up here.
Yeah, I can't... Like, it's really hard for me to process a lot of that situation. It's really weird. And I hate it, too. And, you know, I wish I could chalk it off to... Everyone's always... Every time I meet people, they're always like, yeah, you probably don't because you meet so many people. And I was like, I wish that could be the excuse. I wish I could blame senility. I wish I could blame old age. But I've been terrible at it my whole entire life.
Yeah.
Whole entire life.
There's some solace in that, too. You're not actually getting senile.
Yeah, that's true.
You've just always been bad at it.
Yeah, exactly. My brain has always sucked.
Yeah, you've just always... You're right. So if I'm going somewhere out of town, I will say I live in LA. That means I live in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. But in LA... I don't tell you I live in LA, because what does that mean? It's like this 400 square mile juggernaut. I live in Hollywood. That's what I said.
Yep.
That was what Paul B was saying.
Oh, okay.
And it's not the ghetto anymore. All right, it was the ghetto.
Yeah, it was.
But it's not, if you go back and look at Pretty Woman, right? She gets picked up. She's a prostitute. Spoiler. She gets none of these kids have seen this movie. But if you go back in time and you watch that, she gets picked up on a block that's just like a few minutes walk from my house, because that was like the seedy area of town. It was gross. It was gross town. Now it's not like that anymore.
Dude,
but it's not great
Roach
either.
King size as well. He says I beat him at the SBO quals in 2009.
That's very funny.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
You beat somebody in 2009?
I was good back then.
Yeah, you were actually good.
I was good back then.
That's true.
It was around 2010, 11 when I started dropping off, honestly.
Right.
So, oh man. But yes, you are Hollywood.
No, Hollywood's not the ghetto. I'm literally Hollywood.
Yeah.
Literally Hollywood.
But no, honestly, like before, a long time ago, people would be like, I want to visit Hollywood. And my reaction would be like, why?
Yeah.
And nowadays, it's like, I want to visit Hollywood.
I guess there's a mall there. You can here's the attractions. All right, mall. You can walk at the Chinese theaters there. You can see a movie. It's just a movie theater. There's famous people's names are imprinted on the sidewalk that they had to spend money for because the city doesn't do it itself. I'll tell you that. It's a marketing gimmick.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, each famous person has to spend money on their star. So it's. As a result...
Is there a selection process?
I'm sure there's a process.
Okay,
but as a result of it being basically a marketing gimmick, it's like a mile long, all right? It's not like a block. It's like you are walking for many minutes, and then it takes a left, and it goes down Vine now. It's this whole scam.
Yeah. There's a Ripley's, believe it or not, there.
There's a Ripley's.
There's a lot of little tiny shops that sell weird watches and gold chains and things like that.
Gross tourist tchotchkes.
Yes,
that exists.
Exactly.
There's like a Disney store.
They actually have a Disney store
a Disney
there?
store
wow,
now.
That's crazy.
You can see the Hollywood sign from there, although you can see it from literally the entire city.
I never see the Hollywood sign. I just guess I'm not looking in the right direction.
Oh, you can't see it from Santa Monica.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, even when I'm driving around, like, I don't ever remember seeing the Hollywood sign.
Up on the hill.
I'll have to look. Next time. Try to pay attention.
The Walk of Fame is super long. You're like, it's funny so I walk there. It's where the metro is. Oh, there's the metro there. Hey, all right, that's another thing. Oh, and the worst cosplayers in the world, in ratty, gross old. I saw a minion walking around. Oh my god. I saw this guy in a Minion costume, right? And clearly the Minion costume was just like he bought some felt and just like maybe like a big tube and just like put the felt around
he got like a foam mattress thing that you put on there and just like wrapped it around him. Oh my god!
And he was a minion. Oh, and people were taking pictures with him. It's the stupidest thing.
If you ever want to meet like the shortest Spider-Man in the world, you can go over there and find them. There's like these 4-foot Spider-Man.
Yeah, they just are hoping that you take pictures with them and then give you money afterward. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it's.
When was I there when Clark Gable put his handprints in the cement, or the Marx Brothers? No, but that's always been one of my biggest regrets, was that I wasn't able to go there, because I really like Clark Gable. And also Marx Brothers, it's funny too, because like I wasn't super familiar with them, but when I watched some of their movies in retrospect, and dude, I just realized that the Animaniacs, that's basically what they are. They're just the Marx Brothers, so... Because you know how Animaniacs was always just like they're in another world while the characters like are not paying attention, like they're bugging Beethoven, and Beethoven's not noticing any of the weird asides in it. Dude, that's all the Marx Brothers.
Right, yeah.
That's exactly how those movies worked. It was so funny to have that revelation, because my brother's a cinephile, right? So we're sitting there watching it, and all of a sudden he just looks at me and goes like, "This is where they got Animaniacs from," and I was like, "Holy crap!" It was actually really cool. So, oh man. But no, obviously, I don't know, what year did Clark Gable put his handprints in there?
I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you within a range of 3 decades.
Wasn't around during that time.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's very funny to watch people think that it's short, the Walk of Fame, and you'll see ladies come up there in like either fancy high heels, who, like they're definitely not walking a mile and a half, or people who they probably can't walk a mile and a half. Like, there's like a lot of old fat tourists who show up, and you like see them struggling along. It's not that great of a place, folks.
Yeah, it's really not that great.
There's some gross bars there. Gross bars.
Oh god, I don't even want to think about the bars that are on that street.
There's like 1, maybe 2 cool bars, but they're mostly like let's like pound a bunch of beers, gross bars.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's about it. Anything else to talk about?
No. That's all I have.
The tour bus. I've never taken the tour bus. I have often thought it would be cool to take a Hollywood tour bus.
Amoeba Records, yeah, that's.
Amoeba Records is actually not on the same street. That's on Sunset Boulevard.
Oh, okay.
Not
yeah,
Hollywood
that's right.
I walked by that on the way to the gym.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah, I thought it'd be cool to like take a bus and see where all the famous people live.
Oh yeah.
I don't really care about where the famous people live, but what I am interested in is like striking up a conversation with somebody who's on the bus. I want to be like, why is this interesting to you? Like, what about this? Is just the house?
This
like,
is such a David questionnaire kind of thing.
Why? How come you're here? I think that'd be a lot of fun. And I know that they would do the whole like, all right, everybody, let's say where we're from. Oh, I'm from New York. I'm here from London. Oh, I live 2 blocks away.
I'm from Hollywood.
Yeah, I think that'd be funny.
That actually would be kind of funny. Oh man.
Well,
I do want to apologize to everyone that the Tuesday shows have been slow to get up on YouTube, just because YouTube is garbage and really stupid. But this is episode 40. 36 went up today. 37 will be up tomorrow. 38 will be up the next day, and 39 will be up the day after that. So,
cool, man.
Yeah. So.
Sounds good.
Finally got them all up and ready to go. They don't have any thumbnails. I apologize. It takes time to make those things, so I'm not going to do that for these this time. So
no problem. Off Temp says the bus doesn't even bring you to a real celebrity house, just a random person's house. That's in the 50s or 60s when my grandparents moved out here. They were from Chicago. They moved to LA in about 1950ish, just after that. And their cousins and stuff would sometimes come visit in LA, and so naturally their cousins wanted to see Clark Gable maybe where he lived, and so my grandpa would just take him into his car and just drive around the rich people area and just be like, "Hey, that's Clark Gable's house," and they totally bought it. I've often wondered if this story is real or not. But
I'm sure.
In any case, that's the story that my grandpa told me.
It sounds like a Graham family thing to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, man.
That's family legend.
Yeah. I probably won't be doing much streaming this week because tomorrow we've got to get ready. I'm flying out super early on.
We have the same
Thursday.
flight.
Oh, we do have the same flight there. Okay, so there's just not going to be much time for me to do a lot of stuff. But hopefully after Red Bull Battlegrounds, I'll have some more free time. I'll stream some more stuff, and I really want to stream some more Tekken because, like I said, I want to see if I can try to help people with Tekken and help people get past that initial hurdle, especially if you come from a 2D game. And like I said, I've already had a lot of experience now interpreting a lot of the advice that is given to me via Tekken. And so, I mean, it's interesting because, like, movement is the most important thing. Learning how to Korean backdash and sidestep and stuff like that. If that's what you try to learn first, you're just not going to get anywhere. Like, honestly, I really don't think that's the right way to go.
I think the reason that I like watching Saint play so much is that, obviously he can do those things, but it's that he doesn't do it as much as other players. And I said that on Twitter, and it was Bronson got back to me on Twitter, and he was like, that's super hard to do. Like there's a level of play where it's hard to do Korean backdash. Movement is hard, right? Once you get to that level, I guess, according to him, there's this level beyond that where you don't need to do that anymore. And you're just like, you're the best. You know where you are on screen at all times. I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, because, I mean, that's the thing, is everyone's always telling me, they're like, oh, it's a 3D game, move in 3D space, sidestep more, don't think of it as a 2D game. And I'm watching the top players play, they don't sidestep that much. They actually don't really sidestep that often, and when they do sidestep, like, you'll see them sidestepping a lot, but the thing about it is, there's a reason they're sidestepping.
Right.
And that's the hardest thing that people are not understanding, you know what I mean? Or especially when they were trying to teach me. They're like, sidestep more. I'm like, that doesn't help me.
Right. Why?
And then someone,
like,
and then someone finally kind of gave me an idea of why it works. And it's really about anticipation. You always sidestep when you anticipate something. If you're sidestepping because you just want to sidestep to be elusive, you're not doing it right. Like, you literally go into the range of this move that they like, and then you sidestep. Or you dash up to their face and sidestep. Or you do a move that's -6 and then you sidestep. Like, you plan for it. It's not just, hey, move around on ice skates. It's like, learn when the situation is. If you're randomly sidestepping, if you're dashing around and sidestepping randomly, you're going to die. Like, you need to have a specific reason why you're sidestepping. So
sounds right. It's very, very interesting to watch.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna shave before Battlegrounds. I ended up with a beard somehow. It was like 2 weeks ago that I came here, and I was like, I'm never gonna have a beard again. I feel like that was literally 2 weeks ago.
Dude, everyone keeps talking about me and my mustache, my sad mustache here right now.
It's not sad. I think it's all right.
I don't think I've shaved in maybe 2 weeks or something.
I think it's cool, man. I like your mustache.
This is the best I could get at this point. So, honestly, I'll get fuzzes here, which I've shaved a little bit.
That you got to take care of. But
yeah,
I think the mustache is pretty cool.
Okay, cool. It's very Clark Gable. Just kidding.
Yeah, I can see that.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Dang. Well, is that it?
I think that's it. I have nothing else left to say. Any random topics that you want to talk about? Although Hollywood is pretty random.
I think we already went through that phase of the show.
Okay. Very well. All right. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Red Bull Battlegrounds is going to be this weekend. I'm assuming it's going to be on Capcom Fighters, or is it going to be on Red Bull?
I would think Capcom Fighters. Yeah. Because it's an official thing.
Right.
And the others were all on Capcom Fighters.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, cool. All right. Peace out, everybody.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh wait, you're right. I totally forgot.
That's not the bird song. I forgot what the bird song is.
You're always singing. You're always singing the coming up next video song that you gave me for our Ultra 10 videos.
I'm singing Meatball Parade.
You're singing Meatball Parade. You're
so right.
You're singing Meatball Parade.
I'm definitely singing Meatball Parade.
Hang on a second. But we're not done yet. We're still here. We're still talking. There we go.